Hey y'all, it's Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today. And for this video, we are going to be doing a flip through of my 2025 reading journal and checking out my 2026 journal. Alright, so before I get into anything bookish, make sure to hit like and subscribe down below, as well as tell me in the comments, are you keeping a reading journal this year? It is wild to me that another journal has been completed. I honestly feel like I kept on top of this one rather well for most of the year. I didn't really fall off until the end, and then it's so funny that I did fall off because I really got a hankering to start a new one. In fact, I actually am kind of shifting my journal setup, I guess we'll say. We'll talk about this in a minute. But first, of course, we got to do a flip through of my 2025 reading journal. So as you can see, unfortunately, I did not complete one of my 2025 reading goals, which was to read 12 nonfiction books. I read 11, so I was pretty close. And at the very least, I completed everything else on this. For my 10 books for 2025, I read 8 out of 10, and these two I've kind of not officially knocked off my TBR, but sort of knocked off my TBR. These are book buying bingo boards, so I create each of these utilizing prompts from my TBR jars. And basically I have to read a book from my own TBR in order to complete a prompt. And then whenever I get a bingo, meaning I read 5 books off of my own TBR, I can buy 1 new book. So I did stay pretty on top of this for the most part this year. I think the only time I really got off was when it came to Buns and Roses, and that wasn't really super surprising. I fully expected that to happen. This side is the Coffin Covers Reading Challenge, which is hosted over on Jan Agaton's Patreon. I had a lot of fun with this one. I did okay for the year. I think I actually did complete November. I just forgot to write it down. And then this was the horror bingo board for 2024 that was hosted by Wicked Reading. I managed to black this baby out and I'm still so proud. Then we have some of my best book contenders for the year, and this was basically what was my best book for each month. It's kind of funny looking back at this now because some of these books definitely were not on my best books of the year, but they still were really solid reads that I very much enjoyed. This is my first time doing a genre in pixels. I know a lot of people will utilize these pixel setups for your mood, but I really wanted to try it out with the genres, and I really liked this, and I actually did really enjoy this. I'm definitely going to be utilizing this one again in my new journal, but I have a different setup, so I'm excited to see how that goes. Just from glancing at it, I think you can easily tell that horror and romance were some of my most read genres for the year, though I did read a lot of manga as well. Then for my books hauled, these were only books that I myself spent money on, so like gifts did not count towards this. Meaning all in all, this isn't too bad. Like I said, October for Buns and Roses definitely was probably the hardest hit. And then we have my Reddit fantasy spread. So this was the 2024 spread because this does go from April 1st to March 31st the following year. So I closed out the 2024 in 2025, obviously, and I did manage to black it out. Still very proud of myself. I'll put a link to my whole wrap up of this in the cards up above. As for my 2025, obviously we are doing pretty freaking good. I only have 3 left and I am so determined to finish this out. I will be transferring this into my new journal, but we're not there yet. We're gonna finish this flip through first. Moving on to my monthly spreads, I really liked how January started out. I initially was trying to go in like quarters, kind of fell off that. Of course, for February, I had to do a heart theme. It's like just required. As you can see pretty quickly, I fell off doing this favorites page. I like the idea of this, but I'm definitely not very good about actually completing it. Same case here. I love how I did this Pages Read spread. This is probably one of my favorite Pages spreads I've ever done. It is so pretty. This time, rather than doing favorites, I kind of shifted this to like my hyperfixations, courtesy of 𝗖cie Eddings, the author on Instagram. And I liked that idea, but same thing as my favorites, like I don't consistently stay on top of doing this. May is probably my favorite spreads for the year. Well, no, August is probably my favorite. This is probably my second favorite. I really like how this one turned out. Unsurprisingly, May was also my most successful reading month of the year. So I had a little bit of overhang when it came to my book spread. For once, when it came to June, I didn't do a rainbow theme. Instead, this year I did something a little fruity. I like the idea of this Polaroid spread for the Pages Read, but I did not give myself enough room. This is one I probably should have sketched out in pencil first, but I've learned about myself, if there's a lot of drawing on a page, it's like I don't want to have to do it in pencil and then go over it again in pen. I'm not an inker, it's like I want to do one or the other. Okay, August. So these were my favorite spreads. I really had a lot of fun with these. And see, this was great because I did all this drawing, but I wasn't doing it with a pen or pencil. I just did it with a marker. This was not my original idea, by the way. I got the idea for these from Pinterest. Like I said, though, I really am so pleased with how these turned out, especially this book spread page. I think this one was so pretty. And then my recap page as well. This one also was gorgeous. I initially was planning to write and recap in black pen on this last one, but I really like how it turned out and I didn't want to ruin it. I feel like once a year I end up having a mushroom theme at some point. I don't know why mushrooms always call to me, but they always end up happening. I had some fun going like a little scrapbooky with October. I had these stickers from a haunted house actually that we got and I wanted to utilize them, so they were my main focus for this month. I did also really like this Pages Read with the spider web. This unfortunately is right around the time though that I did kind of fall off doing my journal. So these I had to go in and write after the fact, and that's such a shame. November didn't do until a few weeks into November, so this one was as simple as can be. I just wanted to have something to actually showcase in here and to actually keep track of like my Pages Read and my recap. So even though it's the most simple one all year, at the very least it was useful, if nothing else. And then December, this one I also didn't really use a lot, but that's mostly because I didn't really do as much reading as I would have loved to in December, but I feel like that always happens. I didn't even bother filling out the recap page this month, obviously. And then something new I tried out this year was doing like an end of year wrap-up spread, and I actually had a lot of fun with this. So I read 160 books, I read 47,093 pages, I read 723.70 hours of audiobooks, I had 17 5 stars and unfortunately 19 DNFs. The most popular color cover I read this year, say that 5 times fast, was black. Which very unplanned, but actually ended up working with the very simplistic color scheme I did on this one. I saved $1,084.39 by using my library. Love this, amazing. I finished out 25 series this year. The most popular main character names was Samantha, Phoebe, and Jenna for women, and then Jack, Oliver, and James for men. And then lastly, I read 75 books from my own TBR. This is just a simple overview of my stats, but I did have a full stats breakdown video, so I'll put a link to that in the cards. And then the very last part is basically just planning out for 2026. So on that note, let's go ahead and jump into my new journal. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm probably gonna butcher this, but I'd say Lexterm 1917 A5, I believe, dotted journal. I got this baby from a Barnes & Noble. This is the first time in many a years that I actually bought my new journal myself. Usually I just utilize one of the ones I have on hand. So I really wanted to do some research and see which did I think was gonna work best for me. And I wanted to go with one that was a dot grid, but I also really liked the idea of having index pages, though they are not yet completed. And then of course I did have to put some bookish stickers on the cover. So this one's just a cute little ghosty. I've got All This Reality is really cutting into my reading time. This cute shiny flower book one, Read More Books, and then the Willow Creek Renaissance Fair. This one I got from Jen DeLuca, and it just felt so perfect, especially since the final book in this series is going to be coming out this year, and Josh and I have officially turned into Renaissance Fair people. So as I said, there is this content index page. I have yet to fill it out, but I do like having this, if nothing else. And then for 2026, I did kind of want to do a purple theme throughout. As consistently as I can for my yearly spreads, utilize purple because I really like this light lilac color. So I wanted this to be my theme going into the year. I am the absolute worst when it comes at year at a glances because I feel like most of the time I don't actually end up using them. So I wanted to do something that was very simplistic, wouldn't take up a lot of room, which is how we came to see this very easy 2-page layout. And I'm going to make sure one of my ribbon bookmarks is always on this one because I want to actually use these for once. These are 2 kind of experimental spreads, but I was doing a bunch of research to see what spreads do I want to use again because I'm really hoping to kind of once more combine a traditional bullet journal / calendar with my reading journal. I want these 2 to go together this year, and I'm hoping that'll also encourage me to return to journaling daily. So we'll see how that goes. So I got the idea for these 2 spreads from 𝗖cieých I probably just butchered her name, I'm sorry, but I'll put a link to her in the description. She had a video that was 70 spread ideas and they were very useful. So we have this reset process, which I really like. This is just a list of things I want to try and reset weekly. So updating my journal, tidy desk, vacuuming the carpets, update my bill tracker, brain dumps to do for the week, and clear out the fridge. Then I have monthly ones that I want to try and do. So wash my makeup brushes, change sheets, change the vent filter, give the pets their medicine, laundry, swap out water bottles, clear my paper tray, move footage to my hard drive, do a face mask, paint my nails, plan some events for the month. And then up here are the different months. And so I want to, if I can, if I'm not consistently doing these all in the same day every month, I want to make note of what day of the month do I get them done. So for example, in the pet meds, if it's always the 5th Sunday, I want to make sure I mark down the date, whatever that is, so I know that a month out I need to give the pets their next dose. Then on this side was a really fun idea, habit scores. So I want to get back on top of doing my habit tracker. I've kind of been using the Finch app. I pick it up and put it down a lot. So I'm thinking maybe if I have a physical tracker again, that'll help. And I really liked this idea where you write down the habit that you're tracking, and then each month you see, were you better or worse at doing it month to month? I really like this idea. I'm very excited to see how this one goes. I did leave 2 pages just in case I have any other kind of spreads similar to this that I decide to toss in here. Then we have the reading goals. I wanted this one to be super, super simple. I like filling in a box, but I don't want to draw 160 individual boxes. I'm way too lazy for that. Dot grid made it super simple. And then I do want to try and finish out 10 series this year. we'll see how that goes. I do want to try, once again, to read 12 nonfiction books. That works out to about 1 a month. And then I want to read 6 doorstoppers. That means a book that is more than 450 pages. I did relatively decent with this one last year. I feel like I am getting over my fear of big books, but I'm still hesitant to pick them up. Then of course I do have my 10 books for 2026 list. I don't think my 2026 TBR has come out yet, but it will be coming out here soon, so keep your eyes peeled. So these first 6 books are books that I myself really want to prioritize getting read this year, and then these last 4 are books that were picked for me by my best friends and they think I will enjoy. So I'm really excited to try all of these out. Then we have my best book spread. I think I'm just gonna keep this one kind of simplistic. I haven't decided if I wanna do like the flow graph this year, or if maybe I just wanna put in little pictures of each of the books that were my best ones. If I wanna do what I did last year, where I have my best book for each month. I don't know, haven't decided yet. So keeping this one simple for the time being. And then next up is my 2026 at a glance. I really liked this graph idea that I got from Tori Talks. We have the different months for the year, and then I can put down the number of books I read, how many pages, hours listened, average rating, and then the different formats, as well as how many books I read that were owned. As far as the border, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I just kind of was having some scrapbooking fun, making this floral collage sort of thing using what I had, and it's not the prettiest, I'll admit, but I really like how it turned out. And as I mentioned, I did want to do another genre in pixels. Then I do have my horror bingo board for 2025 and 2026, hosted by Wicked Reading. I have actually completed a good few of these already, so let me go in and add some stickers while we're here. So there we go, I've already made some progress here. Love to see it. And then, as I mentioned, I am gonna transfer my fantasy bingo board from last year's journal. Okay, there we go. So then once the 2026 board comes out, I can place that one on this side. And then I do have another book buying bingo board in here. So obviously I haven't started on this one yet because I've only been rereading books as of late. I'm very excited to get into this. Thankfully I do have about 3, I think it is, saved up, but I really want to hold off on using them if possible. Transitions perfectly into this next spread, which is for my books hauled. I did like having this in the middle brain mappy layout that I did last year, so I'm gonna stick with it again this year. And then we have book clubs. So if you're unaware, I do have a book club hosted over on my Patreon. It's called the Geek Squad Book Club, and every quarter the nerds, the highest tier I have, gets to vote on the books we're going to be reading. And for the first 3 months in 2026, we're going to be reading The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien with a book a month. So I'm very excited to dive into this. Can't wait. I'm a little nervous, but I'm really, really excited to start this project. And then on the opposite side is the Book Dragons Book Club. This is a new one that's actually going to be hosted on the D&D Readathon server. So a bunch of us hosts are going to be doing a book club, and this one is actually going to be running quarterly. So each of us will toss in a book, and then we let a random spinner decide between all of our options. For the first quarter of the month, The Spite House by Johnny Compton ended up winning, and that was Steph from Coffee Over Apple's options. So I'm really excited to get to this one, as I heard a lot of positive things when it first came out, and I've been meaning to read it for forever. So for my Geek Squad book club, I tend to have a spoilery reading vlog, meaning I just wanted to be able to mark down the rating each month. For the Book Dragons, we're probably going to be doing a live show for each of the picks. So I wanted to have a little bit of room to jot down some simple thoughts. And then I did go ahead and leave 2 more blank pages just in case there is anything else that I decide to slide in here for annual tracking. But then we have the first of the monthlies. So for January, I did want to do kind of like a coffee-ish theme, I guess. I did see this layout idea on Pinterest and I really liked it. So doing a simple month at a glance as opposed to a traditional calendar, but I do have the calendar laid out here if I need it for some reason. And then on this side, the person I saw was utilizing it for a to-do list, but instead I figured this would be a perfect place to put my TBR. And then as I mentioned, I do want to try having a habit tracker again. So for right now, I have Connect, which is like connecting with somebody I don't in my daily life, whether it's friends from high school or a couple friends, extended family members, whatever it is, I can track that here. Journaling daily, I really want to get back on top of doing that. Reading during my lunch break, exercising, washing my face, taking my vitamins, and reading before bed. These two are big ones that I really want to keep on top of. I've been doing rather well with my 75 books challenge, but I want to keep that momentum going. Next side is a gratitude log. I've seen these so many times, but I always felt like I wouldn't actually do a good job of keeping track of them. However, since I'm trying to return to journaling daily, this will be kind of a extra incentive for me to actually journal daily so I can remember whatever it is I want to mark down as being grateful for. Then of course have my book spread. As per usual, I keep track of the title, the author, the rating, any representation, and whether or not I own it. Then we have the pages read, and I am going to return to my old graph style because I used to love doing this, even if it's not necessarily the easiest to keep track of, but it's a lot more pleasing to the eye for me. And then I did want to do a recap page once again, and then this way I can very easily transfer this information over to the annual at a glance recap spread. And then last, but of course not least, is Winterwein. Had to do a little spread for the readathon because I'm very excited to be participating once again. I'm really excited about my TBR, so I couldn't help it. I just had to put something in here because I can't wait to start. And then as I said, I do want to return to doing daily spreads. So I don't want to have them structured. I just kind of want to write down whatever it is I want to write down. Utilize this as a little bit of a scrapbook again. If I have bits and bobbles that I collect throughout the day, I want to put them in here. I really want this to be kind of a catch-all journal for me. So it's got calendar elements, it's got a reading journal, it's got bullet journaling, and then it's got junk journaling. All right, and on that note, that's officially it for today, y'all, but I did just want to give a little reminder. I'm not going to do my monthly flip-throughs like I used to. Instead, I do post my spreads monthly on my Patreon. So if you're interested in that, I'll have a link to it in the description down below. We'd love to have you join. But on that note, that's officially it for today, y'all. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, make sure to leave a pen emoji in the comments down below. I have links to all of my socials, as well as a few ways you can support me down in the description. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye!